Hello, everybody. My objective today is to have you leaving here with one interesting thought. Just something that you haven't thought before around what the future of humanity is going to look like.
The present and the future become almost flavorless without the past. And in some cases, there's ancient wisdom that can be used for the situation at hand.
New York's beauty and its richness actually lies in what a thick, dense layer cake it is. And we have all these overlapping layers of history, one on top of another. And so, building something like the Low Line, in a lot of ways, it's almost using a futuristic technology almost as not a sunlight device, but as a time machine, some method where we can actually take this futuristic technology and use it as a method of connecting to our past.
But I think the past is very important here. I'm glad that you pointed out, because in the same way that there are physical layers, there are also these virtual layers of institutions that we can peel back and look to understand where we might go in the future.
The problem is that cities cannot be planned from the top down. Citizens are more powerful than any kind of regime.
But it's the birth of open data and the technologies that now allow us to actually use that data, analyze it. Importantly, it's the policy that goes with it of actually opening up the data and sharing it with people. It's the technologies that allow us to envision and to realize this kind of more participatory future. And that's where, in fact, the same technologies that we're worried about can be brought to bear to actually help us do some of this, to get all of us involved in conversations like this, where we might actually decide what the rules might be.
It's not one technology in particular. It's the ability of almost like jumping from one technology to the other. The idea of a mobility insurance to me is so beautiful. Most New Yorkers don't own cars. Now that city bikes are in existence, we really do move from one mean of transportation to the other so seamlessly. And I feel that once again, it's not one technology in particular, but it's the coming together of all the technology and maybe the infrastructure of open data is the future of cities.
So if we look at where the data, for example, is coming from, it's coming from insurance companies, but I think the real question is, how do we make sure that there are public values and public interests that's driven through all of those conversations, regardless of who the actor is? What we've seen is that cities have already begun to create laboratories, exactly that, self-styled labs, to get people together to develop solutions to the problems. So that's really the exciting future, to my mind, is the places that are using competitions and challenges, creating labs, practicing open innovation, doing it with young people most especially. That's a change in mindset and in skill set that we have to have first.